Hello there. So I'm going to be making this video as a continuation of the Chopper video from yesterday or the other day, depending on when I upload this. That video is going over about whether Chopper had created his devil fruit. So if you want to, hear all the points on that, go watch that video. But just know that if you kind of want to hear this one, there is the notion that the previous theory may have to be thought of as well, just because there is stuff that I say that, basically only makes sense because I have the notion of him having created his devil fruit potentially. But if not, then basically what's going to be happening is that I believe that he has a chance to awaken his devil fruit, right? Because if he created his devil fruit, then why wouldn't he be able to awaken his devil fruit? Of course, this also could be another situation like the gum fruit, where there never was a human fruit without a model. It turns out that all along was the human fruit model blank, right? It could be another situation like that, or it could be like commented out by Poisonous on my previous video on TikTok, that potentially this could have, there could just be a whole bunch of human fruits that people have been eating for generations and not knowing that you're just a human eating the human fruit. So now you're just like a human who can't swim. So maybe there is actually a whole bunch of human fruits that are all modelless in the exact same way, and it isn't until they're eaten and potentially, I don't want to say awakened, because that would make it seem kind of how the way that Gear 5 is the awakened, but yeah, in a sense, awakened in order to become unmodeled, a modelless human into the human model Nika, the human model Buddha, the one from Wano, I can't think of what it was called, or even what I'll be going over today's video, which we'll get into that now. So, who do I think most likely would be Chopper's awakened form? What would the awakening be? I mean, it's going to be a boring and plain answer that most people kind of already assume and speculate on, but yeah, Panacea is the most likelihood. Panacea being the Greek goddess of universal health. It is also a miracle cure drug, which is mentioned in Chopper's backstory. He wanted to find the Panacea to cure Dr. Heerlook of his ailment. Unfortunately for him, what he found was not the Panacea cure-all. Unfortunately, it was a Amoadake mushroom, which hastened the unfortunate death of Heerlook. Panacea also was mentioned kind of on that island a bit before that as well, because during the backstory as well, you hear some of the security team with Dalton. They were mentioned that some of them are being tasked to find what they presume is in a mushroom that can cure all sorts of ailments and stuff, which presumably is a Panacea, because they are tasked to do this by the 20 doctors. So presumably they do presume that on that island there is a Panacea, or some form of a mushroom that can cure large amounts of ailments, which coincidentally on that island was a mushroom that gave a person the ability to cure a whole lot of ailments, just maybe not in the exact way they were thinking. So why do I think it's Panacea? Well, Panacea being universal healthcare. Chopper wants to become Panacea. He wants to become not the goddess, because he doesn't know who that is, but he wants to become the cure-all drug. So if his desire to become human was enough to create the human fruit, then his desire to become the Panacea, the cure-all, and a Greek goddess, then there wouldn't be anything that really could technically stop him, because he made his devil fruit, so why couldn't he also make its awakening? Or it could be like, as I said earlier, it could be like a gum fruit situation where there never was a modelless fruit, there never was a modelless human model, and it was always the Panacea, and it was just waiting to be awakened. Hopefully it's not like that, and it would be more like the first one. And then it could be like the human, it could be a whole bunch of human models, and it's just each time you eat one, there's just a chance that you can awaken it into a specific model, but for the most part, you're always just going to be a human, and unfortunately you had the human, and you didn't awaken it into one of the special humans, But yeah, so I'll go over Panacea, because there is a lot to go over that here next. So in Greek mythology, and kind of what we'll be going over, Panacea is the goddess of universal health, and she is the daughter of Asclepius, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and Epione, I don't know, it's hard to pronounce them. Also, they have 3 different spellings. So Epione is not a very well-known goddess. She is the goddess of soothing of pain and care after surgery, basically. So she is the aftercare after somebody, is kind of wear and tear on their body and they just got their surgery. They're kind of like I don't want to say the nurse practitioner, but they're the person who comes in afterwards to make sure you're okay, get you your medicine to stitch you up in a sense, after you've been stitched up. And then Asclepius, the dad, is a lot more well-known. He was a mortal born, well, I guess demigod technically, born to Apollo and an unknown mother, although in some iterations it isn't just Apollo. He just, as does in Greek mythology, he just, boop, here I am, a person out of a god's head. But we're going to be going over, he had a mom. Asclepius is born to Apollo, which kind of already sets him in line for medicine, considering that Apollo is known for medicine. And he is also, at an early age, taught by Chiron, the centaur, who you may recognize from Percy Jackson series. He's also very well known for medicine, so he actually teaches Asclepius in a whole lot of medicine. And after that, some years later, depending on your iteration, he is taught by a snake, even more advanced medicines, like higher levels of medicines. And it's either he was just very kind to the snake, so the snake whispered into his ears these, wonderful forbidden secrets of health and medicine and stuff, or while he was trying to perform a task where he had to revive a sea serpent, or a sea serpent had killed somebody, I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, he had to revive somebody named Galus, and he would just absentmindedly smacked and hit a snake with his staff, and it killed the snake. A bit later, another snake came by with an herb in its mouth and put that herb on the dead snake's head, bringing it back to life. Asclepius, seeing this, grabbed an herb, the same herb, not the exact one, but, a similar herb, and put it on the dead person's head, on Galus's head, thus bringing him back to life. And it is because of this tale, the staff hitting the snake and its appearance, that we get the rod of Asclepius, which is a medical thing. If you ever see the rod with one snake on it, that is the rod of Asclepius, and that's where we get it from. And he now has these forbidden medicine techniques, because he can basically revive people in a sense, and go to the point of, I think there's only been in one story he brought somebody to life. It's not fully confirmed if he can. Sometimes he can, sometimes he can't. It's unknown. But basically, he can. He's so good at medicine that he's basically preventing death, or he is bringing people back from the death. And this starts upsetting Hades, god of the underworld. So he asks his brother Zeus to take care of it. And Zeus just kills Asclepius, which upsets Apollo. Apollo kills the Cyclops. This upsets more, blah, blah, blah. And Asclepius becomes a god as a result of this, to kind of make amends, because that's just what you do in Greek mythology. Oh no, I killed your kid. Let me make him a constellation. Let me make him a god. That's the normal way to make amends. But yeah, so Asclepius, that's, Asclepius and Epione. Why do I tell a whole story about Greek mythology? It all ties in, trust me, and I'll tell you in a moment. So, why do I go over this huge lesson on Greek mythology, to go over two people who aren't even relevant technically, because I'm talking about Panacea and how Chopper should be Panacea? Well, it does actually matter, because with Epione and Asclepius being known as parents of Panacea, let's think about this. Two doctors, one being very well known for, maybe not the best at actual medicine, but he's better known for actually being very good with care, health care, the aftercare. They know the patients. They can help and care for their patient even after they've been cured and helped in their medical practice. While the other is a very well-known, very, medically super well medically, educated person who can, prevent extremely deadly diseases, bring back somebody from the brink of death who by all means should have died, because there's no known cure for this disease. Why do you even know the cure for this? Oh, I'm not talking about Asclepius and Epione anymore. I'm talking about Dr. Kureha and Dr. Hiroluk. You see the similarities between all of this? How Asclepius and Epione, the parents of Panacea, are very similar to Dr. Hiroluk and Kureha, the parents to Chopper. So not only is their Chopper's will to want to be the Panacea, but even in a storytelling and narrative sense, the parents of Chopper are basically the parents of Panacea. They have such similarities to Asclepius and Epione, if not exactly one-to-ones, but they're mixed and matched with each other with, medical knowledge and with the expertise of this, and, the wanting to healthcare and the I want to cure this world. It's not just a sickness of the body, but a sickness of the heart and of the mind, That's what Epione is doing, is soothing the pain. It's not just curing it. So that's, all these similarities with these two, with the parents, with a story narrative. It easily can mean that Chopper will become Panacea later on, especially to fight Doc Q, a person who is, with the virus fruit, with the sickness fruit, who is creating the illness and sickness. Chopper's need to cure all this would be the drive to become his awakening to finally become Panacea. Not just the Panacea, but to become Panacea. To wrap this up, I'm going to do a quick overview as well as one little bit of information, which is actually a pretty new one. It's not like new, like I recorded all this earlier. This is just the theory that I've been working on for a while, and this is the newest bit of information I got not too long ago. There's actually a book in Dr. Kureha's, I have stuff written down here so I can like remember it. There's a book in Dr. Kureha's place when Nami first wakes up and Chopper accidentally knocks over a book. The book is titled Valitude. And Valitude is the Roman goddess, like basically the Roman equivalent of Hygiena, which Hygiena, or however you pronounce it, is the sister of Panacea. I keep wanting to say Pangea, is the sister of Panacea. So in this same house, in Dr. Kureha's house, she has a book of Hygiena, of one of Panacea's siblings. And then she also just has Panacea in her house, potentially. Who knows? We'll see it later on, but as an overview, Asclepius and Epione are the parents of Panacea. Panacea being the goddess of universal healthcare, Asclepius being a doctor who is the son of Apollo and an unknown mother, who is beyond gifted in medicine to the point where he had to be killed because Hades was getting upset that not enough people were coming to the afterlife. Epione, the mom, is somebody who is goddess of soothing pain and care after surgery. It's basically like Dr. Hiruluk and Dr. Kureha, an extremely bright and brilliant doctor who can cure a illness on Nami who thought, could never be cured because this is a long extinct thing. What were you, on an ancient island or something? And then the other one was wanting to cure an island that had a sickness, but not of the body, but of the heart and of the mind. He didn't just care about curing your actual, like, I'm sick, oh no, I have a cough. He wanted to cure you afterwards as well. The same way that, the parents of Panacea did, in the same way that these parents do. So the same way that Chopper wants to be this universal health care drug, the Panacea, he will awaken his human fruit that he made into the human fruit model Panacea when he's probably fighting Doc Hugh or something to become his cure-all as his final endgame thing. And that's kind of how his end goal will be. So Chopper, Panacea, this all came to a really fun end, but I hope it makes sense and I hope you like this theory because this one has been working for a while. Until next time, bye guys.